This is a story of how we turned this one block into a multi-biome paradise, but to understand how we got here we have to go back to day 1. We started day 1 by mining 64 blocks, expanding the island and getting a new friend. Our reward for mining 100 blocks was a special stick, a legendary stick, and we got a diamond. You better behave yourself or you're gonna end up like this. Are you trying to kill yourself? Oh, I see, you weren't trying to kill yourself, you wanted to kill me. That move better not be a yes, mister. You're just doing this on purpose, aren't you? Are you gonna move, or do we have to go through this again? That's what I thought. We also got a pretty special chest, and all those items can go in our chest for special items. Then we go to level 2 underground. We also got a bunny, but he's already gone. I'm pretty sure our cow ate him. Well, at least we got some epic loot. Well, we did get couple diamonds out of this. After mining 600 blocks, we go to level 3 the caves. This is where the mobs can spawn, so we're just gonna trap them. We got a lava bucket, a zombie, creeper, and our cow got a new best friend. You are more trouble than you're worth. At day 3 we met a baby zombie with surprisingly big pockets, 20 cobblestone, and after mining a bit more we got to barren lands, which is Mesa, and we also got a villager after a bit of mining. Don't do it, you have so much to live for, you can work for me for the rest of your life. Oh, never mind, you had the right idea. We also got a horse that can jump pretty high, but then we got another one who tried to kill me, but he wasn't very successful. Day 4 I got a souvenir from our villager, and we were looking pretty golden. Day 5 we got a decent chest, and also to level 5 the swamps. This is the stuff that we got from the mesa, and now it was time to start working on our first biome, which is going to be the forest. On day 7 I also made a little entrance, and I was talking to the wandering trader, but his llamas had different plans. They're walking off like they didn't just do that, but don't worry, I saw nothing. I don't want to go the same way he did. On day 8 I made the bridge a bit safer, saved the cow from killing himself, and also mined 2500 blocks. On day 9 I vindicated the Vindicator's life, and we also got a new friend for our villager, who is gone. Rest in peace, villager. We also got some bees, and I don't really think you're going to find many flowers down there, so I decided to be nice and give them some flowers. And we also got a new beehive. Day 10 I just spent gathering resources, and look who finally decided to show up. You okay there? I guess a little nap is going to help him, it always helps me. Day 11 I started working on the cave biome, and couple of slabs and stairs go a long way. Halfway through building the floor I realized they are slabs. I'm just glad there's no clear indication of my stupidity. And of course we were one block short, now that's just cruel. Day 12 I spent the time decorating the cave with different stones and of course vines, and on day 13 it was time to add the ores. Since we don't have ores we have to use the full blocks, and I also added mushrooms and few cracks, and we were done with the interior of the cave. Day 14 I mined away. Day 15 I made a cobblestone 3000, basically using one lava bucket and water bucket to generate 3 cobblestone. Day 16 we got few new bee friends, and everything was going well. Of course, until it wasn't, but don't worry, I lived. Since we're gonna be digging with sand, we have to make a platform, otherwise the sand is going to fall like that. So day 17, 18 and 19 I spent designing the mesa biome, and it was time to add the iron clay. Since we don't have enough to make mountains, we're gonna have to settle for spikes, and to save myself trouble, I'm just going to use the random color combination that we have in the chest, using the color we have most of at the bottom and working our way to the top, and that should end up working very nicely. We only have enough colors for one more. Since we have one color left over, I'm just going to use it as a safeguard, but that is looking pretty cool. Of course I do want to hide the torches, and I think that's gonna look a lot better at night. We got a new food source, and on day 21, after mining nearly 3000 blocks, we go to deep waters level 6. Unfortunately we can't really progress in this one since we don't have silk touch. I traded with the wandering trader, and also started working on the new biome, which is going to be the swamp one. I want to have a couple of the dirt hills, and each of them are going to have a mushroom, and that big one really works in our favor. I added the water, some clay, and of course added few of the trees around, and we have to do something about that one. Just growing another one on top of it should work fine. Since I didn't really like the wall around, I decided to completely scrap it, and it looks a lot better without it. After 3000 blocks I was feeling lucky, and we're going to get a villager now, and you have to admit that would have been pretty cool, but we didn't get it. Are you serious? Just 3 blocks after that we got a villager. You ruined a perfectly good clip. After crafting the lectern, I spent painful 20 minutes of recycling through villager trades until we finally got silk touch, and you can see by my reaction I was pretty happy about it. So day 26 we got our first emerald, and I just continued gathering resources on day 27 since we needed to do something about the outside of the cave. We also got a new sapling, and on day 28 I was finishing up the cave and also gathering more sugarcane, and on day 29 we finally got the silk touch pickaxe. Although we need to borrow our decorations for the anvil, we made our first diamond pick and we have silk touch. Finally we can progress into the ocean biome phase. We got a new villager on day 30, started a family and got some pretty decent books. I was going to feed carrots to our pigs, but they didn't seem to like them. And with the mending, we don't have to worry about our pickaxe anymore, although I noticed something strange. Our silk touch pickaxe villager disappeared and this guy with the fish C5 showed up. We got another sapling, and just in time it seems, since as soon as I finished trading I'm pretty sure he just fell off. We also got a new villager, which is going to be a toolsmith, since that's the only way we're going to get more diamond tools. We also got a new baby dolphin, and you can see he already tried to suffocate himself, so I'm not sure how long he's going to survive. While I was replanting our carrots, I noticed that our mushroom was gone. I continued trading, and we unlocked a level 5 book trade, which is Bane Waterpods 5. Of course it is, at least the other one is Lack of the Sea 3, which fits with the ocean biome phase. Then we got attacked by a pufferfish, but don't worry, I'm a better warrior, so I just kinda hid and let it die out. But hey, a win is a win. I also needed the last bit for iron, but don't worry, I have the replacements, no one will know the difference. We do need another station for our new villager. Here's a little something to help you grow up. And while I was gathering resources, I noticed that there was llama just hanging around, so I went to check it out. No new saplings, but we do have some stuff for the ocean biome. And on day 37 our baby villager finally grew up, so I gave him a bed and a job. He's going to be an armorer. While I was gathering more resources, we got another fish, which is a guardian. And I have to say, your little cousin pufferfish is a lot scarier than you are, which is kind of a shame. On day 38 we got a map, so I checked it out and it looks surprisingly cool, so I decided to hang it on our crafting table. We got a trade for a new axe, which has Bane Waterpods, which is slowly becoming a bane of my existence. But at least we got to a new biome, which is the jungle, after mining 3700 blocks, which is kind of weird considering we already have a forest biome. I guess it's a good thing we are getting a new axe trade. These are all of the items that we got from the ocean biome phase, and finally we can get grass since we do have silk touch. All of the axes we are not using are going straight to smeltery. Even though we are only getting a nugget, it's going to add up. We also got a panda, and we were one axe short from getting that diamond axe. I guess we're gonna have to wait for tomorrow. We got our first iron ingot, and we got 2 pandas, so we can officially breed them, and we can have our own army of panda bears. Look how cute this guy is. I'm just hoping our new diamond axe is not going to have Bane of Waterpods on it as well. And I spoke too soon. At least we got a diamond axe, so that's something. We got a new villager on day 42 who was eager to start working, so I gave him a bed and a job, and he's also going to be armorer. 1 emerald for boots, that's actually a pretty good deal for both XP and our makeshift iron farm. First piece of diamond armor, and it's enchanted. Another thing we need to start working towards is getting a bunch of glass, and that's where our 2 new villagers come into place. Basically we're going to make a giant fishbowl in the sky, and this one is going to be a perfect half a sphere, so it's going to take quite a lot of glass. The final layer is going to be a 36 block radius circle, but to get to that point we have to go through 18 different layers, so this is probably going to be the biome which is going to take the longest amount of time to actually finish. We finally unlocked the full set of diamond armor at day 50. Then I spent day 51 to 55 just working away at our fishbowl project, buying as much glass as I can. But on day 54 we got a bit of a scare when a phantom pushed me. Luckily I landed on the bridge, completely forgetting about them. We had a perfect amount of glass. That was a pretty satisfying moment. But now it was time to fill it up with water. But before we can do that we have to first fill it up with wood. Even though we're only filling up the top layer, this took quite a lot of time and quite a lot of wood. Luckily, filling it up with water was pretty easy, but removing all of that wood took a whole day. First decoration we're going to add is of course going to be the corals. The next thing that we need to add is the monument. We do have a bunch of prismarine, so we're gonna go with the sand at the bottom and our makeshift monument at the top. Of course, we don't have enough resources to make the exact replica, so we are gonna have to improvise a little bit, but at the end of the day we know what we are going for. Even though we're not gonna be able to see it from the outside, still I do want to add a bunch more decorations like all of our fishes, the kelp, and of course we do have some bone meal left over to add some seagrass just to kinda make it more overgrown. From the outside it looks pretty awesome, even though we can only really see the sand. The real beauty of this biome is inside and not what we can see from the outside. I love just seeing the fishes swimming around and the overgrown feel of the mini monument. Although I have to admit I might have gone a little too big considering the amount of coral that we have, but in the end of the day it turned out really nicely. Later on in the day we also got our first efficiency 5 book, which I decided to give to our ex since we are currently in the jungle phase. After a bit more mining we got to level 8, which is the snow world, and since we already had a bunch of dirt from the jungle phase and the previous phases, on day 60 I decided to jump straight into making the jungle biome. One thing I found extremely helpful while building this was having that map, since we can judge the distance and the shape of the island really well, which I wish I did for the fishbowl since it's kind of away from the cave. I spent the rest of the day 60 and 61 just gathering resources, mainly gathering stone. Since we were done with the top half of the jungle island, we needed to work on the underside. Of course I needed to set up a bit of a scaffolding, and on night we started working on the stone. We are just going to make a classic floating island. On day 62 I basically got a maxed out silk pickaxe and continued gathering resources. On day 63 we got our final sapling before the wandering trader decided to jump off, and now that we had a lot of stone it was finally time to finish the island, and that's what we did on day 64. On day 65 it was looking pretty good, but we do need to do something about the dirt. With the dirt hanging over we were done with the outside of the island, although there is one more thing that I need to add, and that is one smaller island on this side right over there, since I want to have a waterfall kinda coming from the top island down to the smaller one. But that was just the first of our decorations. After that I added sugarcane and bamboo around the pond. Of course we can't have jungle without jungle trees. I added some cocoa beans, bushes, more bamboo, and of course a miniature version of the jungle temple, which looks pretty awesome. And you can see I also added some melons, and the overgrown field really sold it. On day 67 the islands were looking pretty finished and wonderful. I did grow a couple trees on top of each other, the same thing we did for the swamp, just to help with that height difference. But even though it looks finished, there's one small detail that we need to add, and that detail is of course pandas. So I do need to make like a little water elevator leading all the way to the top. And on day 68 it was time to move the pandas to their natural habitat. I'm just hoping they're going to like it. Unfortunately we don't have soul sand, so they are going to take a bit of damage going up, but they will survive, and don't worry, I will give them plenty of bamboo in return. Every panda seemed to really enjoy this new biome. I mean, who wouldn't? It's beautiful, except this one who was preoccupied by just how beautiful his bamboo stick is. I am really glad that we got sponges in the ocean phase, since cleaning up was pretty easy. We finally connected the ocean biome to the mesa. Only thing I don't understand is why are the colors of the prismarine reversed at the map. For the jungle one we went really simple, few jungle logs and cocoa beans around. On day 69 I decided to just continue mining and getting through the snow phase. We got a polar bear at the night and he was looking pretty nice. We also got a dog, but unfortunately I didn't have a bone until day 70 when a stray spawned, but unfortunately he only dropped one bone. But it doesn't matter, since that was all that took for this doggo to give us his love. Then we also got another polar bear. Just look how fierce and scary that face is. It's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. After that I hooked up a hopper with a chest going into a furnace, since I was tired of putting in the boots manually. And later on I kind of missed the announcement for the Nether phase, so I had to improvise and make my own. Of course it had to be really professional. Since I didn't want to go through another phase of mining, I decided to start gathering resources for the next biome, which is of course going to to be the snow one. We do have a bunch of ice, but we do need a bunch of stone and snow. I made a snowman to start gathering the snowballs, but he had a bit of a fight with the llama before I realized he was aiming for the zombie pigmen, and since we needed them for the decoration for the nether, I decided to move the snowman. Using the shovel we got from the villagers, gathering snow was pretty easy, and on day 72 it was time to work on the island. Once I was happy with the shape and the size of the top layer, it was time to work on the underside, and this was going pretty easy since I already had some experience with the jungle island. Only thing holding us back was the resources. On day 74 we were finally done with the stone, and it was looking pretty awesome. Of course we do need to add more snow to kinda have it dripping down to create that nice effect. On day 75 it was time to start working on the new decorations. Since I had a bunch of packed ice, I decided to make a giant spike coming from the side of the island, and that was a pretty good idea. It looks pretty awesome. I do want to add smaller ice spikes, the normal one you would find in vanilla. I also worked on the igloo and decided to switch the normal ice spikes to blue ice just to keep it different from the giant one. Since the snow layers were melting, I had to use carpets for the snow at the trees, and that worked pretty well. Another decoration we need to add is of course our polar bears. First the fluffy cute looking one, and then the fierce scary polar bear. He's going to go to the top as well. Considering we have 3 polar bears, I'd say they really like this environment. Another thing I want to add is of course couple of the penguins, and I have to say just couple of them overlooking the island makes the whole thing like 100 times better, and they're pretty easy to build, so I just scattered like 5 of them around, and it seems like our polar bears are all enjoying their company. I did decorate the igloo a little bit, and hopefully our polar bear is not going to die. I do want to sleep, and this was the most addicting thing ever, just jumping from island to island, which was pretty scary since one mistake could easily cost us the whole series, and we are pretty far into it. If I make this jump, then you guys have to subscribe, and if I don't, then I'm just gonna die. I think I earned it. After that, I spent the rest of the time just mining away to get to the final phase, which is going to be the end. Since we were in the final phase, I collected all of my books and decided to max out our armor with Unbreaking 2 and Protection 4 on each of them. I also got Power 5 on our bow, and the only thing missing was Feather Falling 4, for which we are going to need 4 stacks of emeralds, so that's gonna have to wait. After mining 7,000 blocks and one additional one, I got teleported to the middle with an explosion, and the end portal appeared. On day 82 I decided to go and start working on the Nether island, but unfortunately I quickly ran out of netherrack, so we had to go to Nether and get some more. I was going to gather more, but our pickaxe said no, but we got just enough. I did need to go back to the Nether to gather some nether wart, which we are going to use for the top of the island. I repaired our pickaxe, and on day 85 the island was looking pretty much done. Just when I thought I was done with the Nether, I had to go back in to gather some blaze rods for the Eyes of the Ender and the End portal, and also I remembered I need a ton more nether brick for the decorations, since we are going to make our own nether fortress, and a couple of portals should make that a lot better, and that was the case. I also decided to make a little hill in the background, and we do need a bunch of lava, so I went back to the Nether again. On day 88 we were pretty close to finishing up the Nether biome. We also got a new place to jump from, but then I noticed that one of our pandas slipped down from the jungle biome, so of course I had to help him first before we moved the zombie piglin into the place. Even gathering sugarcane became fun when you have this for the background. I finished up the forest biome, got our boots enchanted, turned the starter island into the end one, and decided to fight the ender dragon, and it's one of the saddest fights ever. There's not much to it. You destroy the end crystals, shoot it when it's in the sky, and slice it when it comes down, and that's how you get the dragon egg. It's honestly sad how easy that fight is, and remember, this is coming from a person that had to hide from a pufferfish. I went back there to look for an end city with a ship. We found one that didn't have anything and was pretty small, another another one that's bigger, but no sheep again. And right in front of the last one we got an end city with a sheep, which was looking pretty impressive as well. So I just ender pearl to the top, we got some loot, and of course we got ourselves the elytra, which by the way looks pretty awesome on my skin. At least it's a really cool cape. I also got the dragon head and looted the end city. Being able to fly from island to island was pretty nice, but there's still one piece of decoration that we need, that is more end crystals. And while I was in the nether I also got a wither skeleton skull, which gave me an idea. But before we can do that, I want to decorate the end island over here with the end crystals and our special items and our map, which was looking pretty awesome. Even though we had a looting tree sword, it still took quite a lot of days to get our wither skeleton skulls. But at the day 100 we finally fought it and got the nether star, and that was how we finished up the series with a beacon and our egg on top of it. Well, that's it, 100 days in Minecraft, 1 block skyblock. If you made it this far, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.